I need a little snack to keep me going. If I've been reading more serious books, like a more dry cottage cheese, and this is the perfect size, so I will something like that. Anyways, a story of love, friendship, and memory. Never let me. No dance experience at all. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we are taking it easy. It's a little bit chilly outside. It definitely feels like autumn, and I just want like a cozy evening at home. My plan is to make a delicious, heartwarming soup, do a little bit of reading. I have a teeny bit of a thrifting haul to share with you, and we're just gonna set some cozy vibes, catch up a little bit, chat. I feel like it's been a while. If you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Grace. I am a Canadian currently living in Dublin, Ireland. I live in a very small apartment in Dublin. So I like to make lots of videos that are, relatable and cozy, and essentially I just want it to feel like we're hanging out. You and I are having a chat, having a nice time. So if any of that sounds good to you, I would love if you'd subscribe. What are we gonna do first? I think I need to have a little snack. I would say dinner is about 2 hours away, and I need a little snack to keep me going. I was just gonna do like some tortilla chips and salsa, but then I realized I have this grated cheese from the other day. We made like taco bowls. I don't normally buy grated cheese. I normally just buy, a block of cheddar or whatever. But I bought grated cheese that night, and I want to make sure I use it up because I feel like grated cheese goes off so much faster than a block of cheese. So we're gonna make some very simple cheese nachos. That didn't take long at all to make these little nachos. Took about 1 minute in the oven. Less than a minute even. I could smell it, right away. Ooh. I've just started this book by Jewell. I'm not sure when this book came out. I always pick up Jewell books in the charity shops whenever I come across them. She has so many books. And I haven't read this one yet. It's called The Making of Us. I like to read a thriller every once in a while as kind of like a palate cleanser, If I've been reading more serious books, more literary fiction or whatever, I do enjoy putting a thriller in every now and then. I call them popcorn books. Literally just started, so I don't know what this is about. But I'll keep you guys posted. I thought I would show you a little groceries haul because grocery shopping is my favorite kind of shopping. So I went to Lidl and Aldi. So from Lidl, I got this tea. It's like a sleep tea. It's really cheap. I think it's like €1. Chamomile, lemon balm, lavender, linden flower, natural rose flavoring, passion flower, valerian root. I actually do really enjoy having this tea in the evening after dinner. And again, it's getting cooler outside, so it's definitely more so tea season. And then also from Lidl, I got this cottage cheese. This is my favorite cottage cheese at the moment. I find the one in Aldi and Tesco, they're both a little too wet. I like a more dry cottage cheese, and this is the perfect size. So I will eat this for breakfast, and it's great. It's got 24 grams of protein. If you saw my what I eat in a day that I filmed ages ago, you would have seen that I like to do what I call a cottage cheese salad, which doesn't sound nice whenever you just hear those words together, cottage cheese salad, but essentially it's cottage cheese and then like some tomatoes, normally fresh cherry tomatoes, some herbs like either fresh basil or coriander or dill, some cucumber, and then olive oil as well. Anyways, it's very tasty. and full of protein. So yeah, I really like to have these in the fridge for breakfast. And also at Aldi, they had in their Super 6 conference pears that were on feature. I really like conference pears. I think they're delicious. And they're normally, I think they're normally €3 for a punnet of pears. And right now they're €1.50 for like the weekly promotion. So yeah, pretty good deal. And then I also picked up this chocolate from Lidl. Looks like it's a bit of a, whatchamacallit, Lind dupe, because it's 70% dark chocolate, 70% cocoa, salted caramel. So yeah, that should be tasty. And then from Aldi, I always just get like basics from Aldi. So I got some celery, garlic. I've actually been really enjoying purple garlic recently over regular garlic. It's a little bit more expensive, but I feel like it lasts longer, and that just has to do with where I'm getting the garlic from. Like the other garlic I think is just a bit older probably, so it doesn't last as long. We just don't get through it fast enough. So this actually works out better for me anyways. I really like it. And the carrots were in the Aldi Super 6, so I think they were 49¢. Not bad. Also for the soup, skinless, boneless chicken thighs. My plan for dinner tonight is a really cozy chicken soup, maybe a chicken noodle soup, maybe just a classic chicken soup. So essentially I made a broth earlier today. I made it in the Instant Pot. I had loads of like chicken bones frozen in the freezer. So I put those in the Instant Pot, cover them with water, and then I just use the broth setting. It's like cooking on, I think it's on high pressure for 3 to 4 hours. So that would have made a really nice bone broth. And then for the soup itself, the base, I'm going to use carrots, celery, onions, garlic, and ginger. Saute that for a little bit. And then I'm going to throw in the chicken thigh fillets. I'm just going to throw them in whole and the broth. And then I'm going to put it on for high pressure in the Instant Pot. I need to look it up to see. I think it's only like, I don't know, it's between 3 and 6 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. And then whenever you release the pressure and give it a stir, the chicken will just fall apart and you're left with a delicious soup. While I have you in this setting though, I want to show you a few things that I got at the charity shops recently. But I'm just going to quickly put the chicken and the cottage cheese in the fridge so I don't have to worry about it. So I live in an area that has a lot of charity shops. We call them charity shops in Ireland. In Canada, we would call them secondhand stores or thrift stores. But yeah, I got a couple of nice things for fall. So the first thing I got is this cute little cardigan. Nice kind of like heavier knit cardigan. It's originally from The Gap, so you know, typically they can have some pretty nice quality stuff. I like the color of it because it's this darker blue color, but then it has that little bit of white sort of woven into it. It's just the yarn, you know, it looks like it's a blue and white yarn that they used. Nice buttons as well. It's cute because you can do button directly up like a high neck, which is typically what I like. Something like that. Anyways, and this was €9. No, €8. Yeah, this one was €8. So I was pretty happy with that. I got another cardigan as well. This one is even more colorful. And it's like peacock feathers, isn't it? Like a peacock kind of design. So this is a slightly different style because the buttons don't go all the way up to the top. You would probably wear this open more often. I really like the colors. I think it's really fun and bright, especially whenever you're coming into like the darker, colder months. I do think it's fun sometimes to like brighten things up with wearing color. This is from Zara. It's size small, and I got this one for €7. So I was, again, really happy with that. And it's in good condition. It feels kind of like a heavier fabric, and it's not pilling or anything like that. So it was a really, really fun find. So yeah, delighted. And then the other clothing item I found were these Nike Air Max? No, Air Jordans. Can you see this? Nike Air Jordans that are in my size. I think the pink and purple is really, really fun. And I believe these are basketball shoes. The bottom, like the base fit, looks like basketball shoes. And whenever I used to wear basketball shoes, you know, in my youth, we always had them higher up like this because it protected the ankle. And it's been funny because I have been saying that I would really like to start playing basketball again. I just haven't found any casual pickup leagues or anything. But at my gym, there actually is a basketball court on the top floor. So I do just need to ask them if there's any, you know, drop-in leagues that I can participate in, or maybe I'll start one. Who knows? I've got the book club right now, so I feel like I'm a little too busy for that. But it is one of the things this year I wanted to get back to some of like my passions that I had when I was younger, you know, like a teenager or a kid even. So yeah, anyways, I couldn't pass up these basketball shoes. The colors were great. The fit is perfect. And they were €8.50. So yeah, really, really happy with these. And then I'm always getting books from the charity shop. These ones, I think this was 3 for €2. It's so affordable. I do like buying my books from the charity shop because, well, first of all, they're just so affordable, and I really like gifting books. So after I've read it, I do like to give them to people all the time, or at my book club, we do a book swap. I also like to own physical copies of books for a certain amount of time because I make a lot of content around it and I need the actual book. That's why I don't go to the library as often. I do love the library too, but I just have so many books that are on my TBR already. I just haven't had to use the library for a long time. But anyways, I found Animal Farm by George Orwell, and this is a classic that I feel like most people have read. Typically you would read this in high school, but I never read it. So yeah, it was just one of those when I saw it. It's a really good copy. It's like I should probably read Animal Farm and get it crossed off the list. The other one is Never Let Me Go. And this is something that has popped up so much that I've really wanted to read. So essentially the author imagines the lives of a group of students growing up in a darkly skewed version of contemporary England. Narrated by Kathy, now 31, Never Let Me Go dramatizes her attempts to come to terms with her childhood at the seemingly idyllic Hailsham school and with the fate that has always awaited her and her closest friends in the wider world. A story of love, friendship, and memory, Never Let Me Go is charged throughout with a sense of fragility of life. That's not really making it sound that exciting, but it's meant to be an absolutely brilliant novel. Margaret Atwood says, a brilliantly executed book by a master craftsman who has chosen a difficult subject, ourselves, seen through a glass darkly. So I think it's a dystopian novel, and it's also, would you consider this sci-fi? Maybe it's sci-fi, and also like an academic setting, which is interesting because for my book club, again, with different themes, this has come up as an option loads of times. Like it could fit into a lot of different themes, but I still haven't put it on yet. But I think if we do a dystopian month, dystopian might be good in January, I was thinking, because things are kind of bleak in January. I don't know if we should lean into the bleakness or try to combat the bleakness. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, I do feel like we will probably read Never Let Me Go at some point in book club. So yeah, anyways, I was really happy to pick that up. And then the last one is Notes to Self by Emily Pine. I did talk about this book recently, I think, in one of my monthly Plan With Me videos because I listened to this one. So this is a collection of essays, and I've read another book by this author that was fiction and I really enjoyed it. I thought this collection of essays was so good. I'm definitely going to lend this book out to lots of different people that I know would really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to actually going through and reading it rather than listening to it and making some notes. But if you do like listening to audiobooks, I actually highly recommend listening to this one as well because she reads it herself and she's got like this beautiful Irish accent. It was very enjoyable to listen to. There are definitely some trigger warnings in this though, like, she's dealing with topics of addiction, infertility, some sexual violence and depression. It's just one of those, she's going through the full gamut of things, but it was really, really good. So anyways, I was delighted to actually find a physical copy of this as well. So yeah, that's my little charity shop haul. I feel like the key to thrifting is to be able to pop into the shops often because sometimes you will get really lucky, but you need to be sort of the first person that's there seeing the new stock because the good stuff will go really quickly. So that's sort of the method. I don't actually get lucky that often with clothes, to be honest. I definitely find lots of books, but every so often I will strike the jackpot like I feel like I did with this one. So yeah. I'm always curious, like, do you like to secondhand shop? And if so, do you like to go to the shops or do you like to use an app? Because I'm not really much of an app person because I like to try things on. I so often feel, especially as a woman, you know, you look at the size and it should fit, but then it doesn't fit, and then the shape is wrong and whatever. Like I just don't like buying things online nearly as much as I like buying them in person. However, I do feel like I want to try out that Vinted app because everyone keeps talking about it. Vinted? I think it's called Vinted. I'm doing some decluttering myself, and it would be nice to actually try to sell some of the items, but again, I'm so lazy with that. Like I really hate having to interact with people doing that and then posting things, and then what if they want to return it? I'm not sure. I'm on the fence. So if you have information to sway me in either direction when it comes to online secondhand online shopping or online shopping secondhand, anyways, let me know what you think because I'm on the fence. All right, I think we should probably get started cooking dinner because it's a simple dinner. It's not complicated and it's not difficult, but it is a lot of chopping. So yeah, we should probably get moving on that. So if you know me, you know I'm always looking for television and movie recommendations. What have I watched recently? Ooh, I watched the first episode of Dancing with the Stars and I really enjoyed that. I really like Dancing with the Stars, and it's because it's such a feel-good TV show, you know? It's so happy and positive. People are nice. I just love to see people, especially older people, whenever like they go back and they're trying something new. But in general, you don't even need to be an older person. I think it's really cool whenever you put yourself out there and you try something new. I mean, of course, these celebrities, a lot of them have been trained in dance in some capacity, but it still makes for very good television. I've only the first episode is out so far, and I mean there's no spoilers or anything because no one's been eliminated yet, but my favorite is definitely, oh man, how can I even choose a favorite? I like them all, to be honest, but it was The Last Dance, the Australian guy, what's his name? Irwin. It's Steve Irwin's son. I can't think of what his first name is right now though, which is crazy. But his performance was amazing, and again, he was so happy and so optimistic, and it was so unexpected that like how good he was, because he has no dance experience at all. His sister actually won Dancing with the Stars years ago. So there's that, but yeah, he had no experience, but he's just one of those guys where you look at him and you're like, oh yeah, you're probably good at everything you do. Like he's just so charismatic and happy and athletic and just all the things. So yeah, that was a really entertaining piece. I really liked the basketball player as well, the older basketball player. Again, I genuinely did enjoy every single performance. I can't really, I'm not really one to be too judgmental about these things, but I thought it was really fun. And then we also really like to watch, I don't know if I've talked about it before, but there's a show, an English show or UK show called Taskmaster. And I think they tried to do an American version and it was totally a fail. But the UK version is like one of mine and Steve's favorite shows. Like it's a show that we like to just stick on and have in the background or whatever. Like, I don't know, again, it's just a really feel-good show. It's a game show, and essentially it's a game show where there's a taskmaster who's a comedian, and then there's his little assistant who's also a comedian, and this guy Alex Horn, he's the assistant, he's also the creator of the show. He's the mastermind behind it all, and they have celebrities. Wait, should I cut this in this way? No, I think I'm gonna do bigger chunks. They get 5 comedians on each season, and essentially every episode is them getting the comedians to do these tasks. Some of it is like live in front of the studio audience, but most of them were done at a different date. Anyways, they're ridiculous tasks, and it does show your IQ a lot of the time, but then also sometimes it doesn't matter at all what your IQ is. It's just a really silly task. Anyways, that's a fun feel-good show. And then for movies, we have that Cinema Pass, and recently they were playing some older films. So I got to go and see, oh my gosh, what the heck is that film called? Goodfellas. Yeah, we got to go and see Goodfellas in the cinema. So that was fun because obviously that's a classic. It's pretty dark, but it's very good, and it was fun to see it on the big screen. And I'm definitely looking forward to some of the films that are coming out, you know, as we're getting closer to Oscar season. There's always typically more good films. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you've been watching lately, if you've discovered anything good. I just saw on Netflix that there's a new show with Jude Law and what's his name? Jason Bateman? Is that his name? Anyways, it looks like it's the pair of them are supposed to be brothers that own a popular restaurant in New York, but the restaurant, you know, is covering loads of crime. And it says right now that it's like the #1 show on Netflix today, so I'm curious about that. I haven't heard anything about it though. I don't know anyone that's watched it, so yeah. Right now, what I'm gonna watch tonight while I'm cooking is Love is Blind UK. We get lots of reality TV from me today, it seems. But yeah, I actually prefer the UK series of Love is Blind over the American one, personally. It feels a little more sweet and innocent, so far anyways. Of course, you never know how things are gonna go, but yeah, I like the parts whenever they're in the pods and they can't see each other, and then I like the reveal and the initial time, but then as soon as they get away from like wherever their island is, or you know, their little vacation away, I don't really like to see them in the real world, because that's whenever it gets a little too real and a little too heartbreaking a lot of the time for a lot of these people. So I like the fun, I like to watch the fun part, and then oftentimes I give up, if I'm honest.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
That's cute.
Poured itself on drinks is so Bollywood, so magical. I really feel like a princess.
That's when you saw one with your eyes. With your eyes.
Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden, I'll follow only golden.
So I've just been sauteing the carrots, onions, and celery together for a couple of minutes just to, you know, get the aromatics going and soften them up. Now I'm going to add in the garlic and the ginger, and I'm just going to do that on the saute function for like a minute, because it's literally, you don't want to cook it too much because then you're going to lose the flavor, but you want to cook it a little bit to get the aromatics going, or that's how I like it anyways, you know. So yeah, I'm putting a decent amount of each in. I put in 3 large garlic cloves, so that's the garlic here, and then this is the ginger. For the ginger, it was like a little nub, like this big, a little nub of ginger. And I really like the flavor of ginger in a soup like this. So yeah, and I kind of cut it coarsely so that there's little bits. Like I don't like it to be too fine. I do like to get like a teeny tiny chunk of the flavor. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. Put these in on the saute function still for just a minute, and then I'm gonna put in the broth and the chicken, and then we're gonna cook on high pressure for, I don't know, I need to Google it to see how many minutes.
I left the hall light on in case you come back home. I sent a text that I was wrong. Oh, won't you come back home? Why won't you come back home?
I don't know if any of you have ever watched Love is Blind, but it's this ridiculous reality TV show where people are dating through a wall, and it's supposed to be, they keep calling it a social experiment, like, you know, we're seeing if love really is blind. Can you make a connection with someone without ever seeing them, sight unseen, blah, blah, blah. There's been a lot of seasons, especially in America, and then now all the other countries are getting on it as well. And in fairness, there are quite a few successful marriages that have come out of it. Or I mean, there are marriages that are still together. Who knows how successful they are, but I mean, they seem happy, who knows? But it's tough because it's like, I mean, it's fun, it's guilty pleasure TV, but then every once in a while, people, like, their feelings are getting hurt, and some people are being vulnerable and other people aren't, and it's just, yeah, it can be a little bit of an emotional roller coaster.
The wind keeps whispering your name my way. I counted the hours, I folded the time, but nothing brings you back to mine. Still see your friends from time to time. They say you are doing fine.
So the update is I'm cooking the soup for 8 minutes on high pressure. Hopefully it works out perfectly so that the vegetables aren't too soft and that the chicken is really tender. It's always a little bit of a guessing game for me, to be honest, with the Instant Pot, because I'm not much of a recipe follower. I kind of just use what I have and cook by instinct, and then I Google things to see like what the rules are. And essentially Google said to cook skinless chicken thighs anywhere between 7 and 12 minutes. So we're trying 8, and we're gonna see how it goes. But now it's time to get cozy for the evening. So I'm gonna do the washing up, tidy up the kitchen, and then I'm going to just like get the lighting nice in here. One of my favorite things about autumn winter is that we can bring back cozy lighting. I mean, I love the long days. In the summer, I'm definitely not giving out about the sun going down at like 10 p.m. I think that's great. But the only silver lining about the sun disappearing earlier is that at least now we get to do some cozy lighting. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I ended up adding some dried thyme and oregano to make it a little more, you know, of a classic chicken soup. Let's see if it's good. The carrots are pretty soft, so that's the tricky thing. Normally, when I've done this soup or this method in the past, I haven't used fresh chicken thighs. I've used rotisserie chicken. So then you only have to put it on for like 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes maybe, just to heat it through. So then the vegetables don't get too soft. Yeah, it's still nice. Super nourishing. And good for the change in seasons. I feel like everyone's getting sick. You know, just a typical common cold because of the change in season. So I'm trying to avoid that happening to me. I've got some friends, very close, like family friends, coming to visit in a couple of days from now. So that's gonna be really fun because we're gonna be taking them all around Dublin, showing them the sights. They've got a couple of kids, 3 kids actually. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it, but I want to stay healthy for that time. But anyways, that's why I'm having, you know, a cozy night in tonight. That wraps up today's vlog. It might end up being a little bit shorter than my usual videos, but I did really want to get back to just, you know, sharing a regular evening in sort of thing. I've been doing quite a lot of book content lately, which I've really enjoyed, but I also want to make sure, you know, if you're here for more of the cozy vibes, that I still have you covered. Stay tuned because I am going to be doing that little bit of a kitchen transformation. It's not a transformation, but I've gotten some extra storage that I'm super excited about because it should help the space a lot. Just, you know, we have such little storage at the moment, and the longer you live in a place, kind of the more storage you need because the more settled you get. So anyways, I've got some storage solutions and I'm planning on filming a video about that in a couple of days, so do stay tuned. Don't forget to let me know if you have any TV show recommendations or movie recommendations or anything like that, or if you just want to have a little chat in the comments below. I would love to see you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.